We're back with another special guest episode. We're joined today by none other than North Queensland Cowboys legend and my favourite player growing up, Matt Bowen, otherwise known as Mango. Welcome to the show, Matty. How are you?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Sorry for the little mishap, but no, thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Mate, pleasure. We thought you forgot about us or you brushed us or something, but
Nah,
we're glad to have you on.
That's it. Guys.
Let's go straight into it. I want to know about the nickname. Why the hell are you called Mango?
Yeah.
I went in my first Origin camp. I walked into camp and Gordon Tallis and Benny Eichen started calling me Mango. And then what's the hell? What are you calling me Mango for? And I said, obviously Bowen Mangoes. So,
oh, right.
Yeah. So
do you have a share in that company or anything?
Sorry?
Do you have a share in that company?
No, I wish. No. Yeah, it's just stuck ever since. So, known in the footy world as Mango, and so it's pretty cluey little nickname. So sort of stuck.
I reckon it's the best nickname going around.
It's
surely
a good nickname, but so it literally has no relevance to you. It's just the company Bowen Mangoes.
There's a little town down the road, obviously, doing mangoes and the Bowen Mangoes. So I'm not from there, but I love Bowen Mangoes, to be honest. So.
Is mangoes your favourite fruit?
It is.
Thank God. Right answer.
I should get some free mangoes after this.
Yeah, 100%.
Surely.
Fucking shameless podcast plug already. So let's talk about your NRL career. Did you always want to be an NRL player growing up, or was there something else on your mind as a kid?
Yeah, to be honest, yes and no. Like, I always wanted to be a carpenter or a mechanic.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a small community of Hopevale, and we didn't have a team sport, to be honest. We didn't have enough kids to play in a team sport, and always watching Broncos on TV every Friday nights and the weekend, and obviously always wanted to play for the Broncos. And not until I was 15, I got put on a scholarship with the Cowboys, and and that dream came a reality in 2000 and 2001 when I obviously played my first game against the Broncos.
Yeah, right.
How ironic.
So you supported the Broncos growing up, Matty?
Yes, and no, not so much I love watching the Broncos. I love Alfie Langer.
Yeah.
And I was a Sydney Roosters fan with Adrian Lamb and Brad Fiddler. So but Broncos obviously was the nearest town to Hopevale and the closest until obviously the Cowboys come on board. So Broncos was close to my heart and still is, and but you have got a little hatred for them when we play them. So yeah.
Well, ironically, we'll take you back 2001, round one, debut off the bench versus the Broncos. How did you find out you're making your NRL debut?
Timmy Sheens, he had a weird way of naming his teams. He wouldn't tell you if you're playing or not. Boys used to just go in the gym and check on above the water cooler and see if their name was on the list for that weekend. And sort of found out like that. And Sheensy called me in the office and said I was playing in my first game, and I didn't know what to do. To be honest, I just it was surreal that growing up, Hopevale always sort of followed the Broncos and watching Gordon Tallis and Shane Webke and Andrew G and Wendell Saylor play, and I was going to line up against them in the first game. So it was I really enjoyed that moment. We went down, I think, 15-14 in that night.
Mm.
Jeez, what else do you remember about that game? Did you get close to scoring or anything, or
no?
What do you remember?
Nothing. Obviously, just one moment. Obviously, Wendell Saylor picking the ball up from dummy half, and all I could see is he's going to run from dummy half. That's all he does from dummy half, and I was at marker and just sort of sat down and tried to tackle him, and he just ran over me. So
welcome to first grade moment.
Welcome to first grade, exactly. Yeah. So it was good, mate. Obviously, mum and dad come down, made the trip down, and didn't look back since. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, and only a few years later, 2003, you made your Origin debut. How did that sort of come about? Getting the call up to play Origin.
Yeah, obviously we had a bye weekend, and I think I was about to go away for a couple of days with the bye, and Peter Parr called me in the office and said that come in. I thought I was in trouble. I just, what am I doing? I went sat in this office and he sat down and looked across the table and he just said, Wayne Bennett wants you in his 17 for next week. And so, what's that? He said, for the Origin side, in the 17. So I just went quiet. I didn't know what to do. And he just kept looking at me saying, "You're right." I said, "Oh, yeah." So, but it was just, didn't believe that moment. Always wanted to grow up, play for Broncos and play for Queensland. That's all you want to do as a kid from Queensland, kid from the community. And obviously that moment come about, and it was lucky enough to do that and get that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, well, you ticked one out of two of those boxes. So play for Queensland. What was that like? How do you describe that feeling representing your state?
Mate, it was the best feeling ever. You watch these guys, Mark Coyne, scoring those tries, and you watch, running down the sideline, scoring those tries, and that's what you dream about, is putting that maroon jumper on and scoring a try or just making a tackle. And I was lucky enough to do that, and going into camp for the first time, and you get these guys, as I said before, like Gordon Taylor, Shane Webke, and all these fellas that you're in the team, you're playing alongside of now, and that's all you wanted to do was put that maroon jersey on. And I was lucky enough to do it on 10 occasions, and it's one of the best weeks ever. To be honest, you get treated like royalty, and it's just the best week. You get boys that you play juniors with, junior footy and juniors, and then now you get them to put that maroon jersey alongside them. And I was speaking to David Peachy about it a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that difference between Queensland and New South Wales is we get to play, like I got to play, alongside Brent Tate, Justin Hodges, Corey Parker, guys like that where we play junior footy with, you know what I mean? And New South Wales don't do that, and that's why we're obviously
the better state,
like more chemistry.
More chemistry, definitely. Yeah. So, but it was good, mate. Obviously, that's a moment I won't forget, and something I'll cherish forever.
100%. Just touching on that junior base. So, when you were young, when did you realise you were good enough to play NRL, and let alone represent Queensland?
Yeah, obviously, I didn't get picked as a 15-year-old. Like even though I was a scholarship for the Cowboys, I didn't really make Queensland or make the North Queensland team, because there was teams already picked, and not until I was 16, 17, and you pick for Queensland, and you think, I really could, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy training. I really want to make it and play for the Cowboys now. And that's when you start to click, and that you want to start training a bit harder and doing the right stuff off the field. Obviously I don't drink and don't smoke, and just, your dream's just there. You just got to keep doing the little stuff and being, sort of discipline, and trying to get that dream. And I was lucky enough to do it on 270 times. So it's pretty good.
How good's that? Well, you mentioned, Matty, that you were surrounded by Queensland legends, obviously in Queensland camp. Was there any Queensland players that surprised you during the camp?
In what way? Surprised?
In a good way.
No, just how passionate the guys are. Like, especially Gordon Taylor. Everyone thinks he's a meanie, and I just remember walking down. We was in Gold Coast on our weekend, and during the week, went for dinner in the movies, and you always get that one person say, "Up the New South Wales," and Gordy just walked straight over to him and just walked past him and stared him in the eye for about a good minute. And he didn't know what to do. So that's how passionate he is, and he shows on the field. So, Gordon Palace.
Well, I think I'm sick of talking about Queensland. I'm already depressed enough about this year and all the other years. So let's go on to 2004 Cowboys. You made the finals for the first time in the club's history. What was that like? What was the town like during that year?
Yeah, obviously first time making the finals. Before then it was obviously wooden spooners and battling for the bottom of the table. And in 04 we sort of Payne was here. He's a local junior, and myself, and we got guys like Matty Singh and Travis Norton and guys like that, and they come to the club, and even though they're a bit older, but they really still had a couple of seasons in them, and we're sort of lucky enough to win a few games together, and sort of making the semi-finals for the first time in here, and getting to play the Broncos here and beating them for the first time ever in 04, and to be a part of that team was something special. And I won't forget it. There were people lining up, days before, when Wayne Bennett said he was going to move the game to Townsville to Dairy Farmers Stadium. There were people camping out. They had tents outside the stadiums, lined up for tickets, and it was just just unbelievable, and the amount of the supporters that we have, not just the Townsville base, but people travel far and wide, as Mount Isa and Cairns and Mackay, and they all come up to support the Cowboys. So it was a pretty special moment.
You'd be surprised how many people support the Cows. We got this guy up beside me, born in Mascot, Sydney, never been to Queensland in his life as a 5-year-old, and goes for the Cowboys.
I lived in Queensland.
Got a question for you, Jimmy. How the hell do you support Cowboys?
Mate, it's because of this bloke right here, Matty Bowen. You wouldn't believe it, but yeah, I saw you, Matty, on TV one day, and I was just like, yep, I'm sold.
So you dead set saw one Cowboys game?
Watched Matty tear up the field.
That is fucked.
Most entertaining play in rugby league, and then that was it.
He definitely is one of the most entertaining. The speed, the footwork. What would you say your best attribute was, Matty? Or best strength?
I don't know. I think, like, growing up, I always, as a junior, I played 5'8". I played halfback, and not until I went to first grade, like in my second year would have been, and I think Tim Brasher or Julian O'Neill got injured, and then one of the coaches said, "Oh, we'll put you at fullback, and because you got good on your feet, give you more, room to move, and you don't have to make many tackles." So they put me back there, and I stayed there, ever since. So yeah, probably my footwork and just obviously trying to beat a defender, and that's why I try and encourage my boy, just to trying to beat the first one or two defenders, and sort of things will open up from there. So yeah, probably footwork.
So you weren't a fullback growing up, Matty?
No, I wasn't fullback. I played literally one game in under 17s.
Oh wow!
And it was just what a scratch match for our school team, because I played a couple of days before it. And my coach just said, "I'll keep you at fullback just to run around and get the soreness out." And yeah, to be honest, I didn't know.
Jesus, imagine you never went back to fullback. You could have been the shell of a player. You could have been, maybe playing only 50 games. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, back to the 2004 season, Matty. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be for the Cowboys going down in the prelim, but just for yourself, getting selected for the Kangaroos tour for the Tri Nations. What was that experience like for yourself?
That was a great experience. Obviously, that's a pinnacle of playing rugby league. You want to play for your country, and that was my goal. Obviously, growing up, you want to play first grade, play one game. And the next goal was to play for Queensland. And obviously the next one is obviously play for Australia. And I was lucky enough to tour in 2004, and I was 18th man for a couple of games against Great Britain. I didn't really get to play a game against those guys. And I played a game in France. So yeah, it was good. It just we've spent about 6 or 7 weeks over in the UK, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the boys, and it was just a great tour.
Been pretty humble there. You forgot your 3 tries against USA. Do you remember that one?
I was just watching it the other night. I was showing my boy, and he's like, what are you playing? I said, yeah, I was on the way back. We stopped in Philadelphia, and played that game, and it was a terrible game at the start, the first half. We warmed up, and it was just atrocious. So they were scoring a couple of tries. We got in at halftime, and Wayne Bennett just ripped us. He said,
too complacent, eh?
Too complacent. He said, "You guys are, obviously this coming off winning the Tri Nations, and you're coming here and you're going to get beaten by US, and you guys better go back out and fix this." And there's other words in there. Yeah. So sort of went out and sort of boys just sort of turned it on, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, right. Well, moving on, 2005, the great man, JT, joins the Cowboys. Now, over the next 9 seasons, obviously you guys form, one of the great combinations in NRL history. What was it like playing alongside JT?
Oh, John was just this ultimate competitor. I still tell people today he didn't like losing, even if it was ping pong, if it was card games, if it was watching ants grow up the, run up the wall. He always wanted to win. So, and it shows on the park, and just to build that combination with Jono was something special. And sort of. And 05 we sort of felt so close, and it wasn't our year. So it was, but to get that far from where we come from, the year before we just sort of missed out, and then that year we sort of made it to GF, but wasn't meant to be. So, but that combination with Jono sort of grew over the next couple of years, and it was a pretty good combination.
Yeah. What do you remember out the lead up into the grand final that week? What can you tell us about that week?
Obviously, just how the buzz in the town was. Everywhere we went, we were training. There were sort of full stadiums. We did a tour on the way to the airport, and around the community, and all the workplaces come out on the roads and having signs, and airport was full, and I would have hated to see if we would have won to come back, and but even we still lost. There were still people supporting us at the airport when we come home. So that's how much the Cowboys means to the community, and as I said, not just the Townsville community, it was the wider region.
Yeah, obviously, the result didn't go the Cowboys' way. What do you remember from the game, Matty?
Scoring the first try.
Scoring the first try.
And then that's it, blackout.
I haven't watched the game back. Obviously, you remember the try, but just one of those games you don't really get to see, and you don't want to really see. And every time it get brought up, obviously, it's that moment that sort of let go, and sort of still burns, mate. To be honest, I think it's been a fair while, but obviously losing the grand final is something hard. You train all that time and all these years to win a grand final, but it wasn't meant to be, and so it's not too.
Yeah, it'd be hard seeing that Benji flick pass on all the highlight reels, and it pops up every year, I'm sure, and you just
pops up every year. It does.
Just going back, going back to your combination with JT, Matty, what do you put it down to? What made you guys so good, do you reckon?
I don't know, mate. To be honest, it doesn't just happen on the field. We train in games. We have fitness games in skills and drills that we do. And, we always sort of looking for one another or working off one another, and it shows on the field that we just like, I don't know. It's just a thing that we did on the park at training. And it just happened to come off in games. So it was just that second phase footy, and we were pretty good at it, I think. So
I think my favourite play was sort of the banana kick back in field, and you're up on the inside. Did you guys practice that like in training and stuff? Or?
Yeah, we would practice a fair bit. Everyone, these days everyone practices before trainings, during trainings and after. So it's well rehearsed sort of play, and you don't get to do it quite often in the games. You probably get one or two opportunities at it, and you've got to nail it. So it's sort of lucky enough we've sort of nailed a few of them. So
yeah, you got heaps of highlights, heaps with yourself, a lot with JT. But do you think JT will be a future Immortal, in your opinion?
Yeah, definitely, man. Jono's just, as I said, his ultimate competitor. He won, I think, 2 grand finals, one at the Dogs and the Cows, and so he's just the ultimate competitor. That's what he wasn't there. It was the biggest halfback, but he could tackle. He was fit and sort of knows the game. So I'm no doubt he's one of the best.
Yeah. Well, we just got to bring it up, Matty. 2005 State of Origin, the Intercept try, one of the great tries in Origin history.
No, it was a shit try.
Talk us through that. What was going through your head during that?
Obviously, every time Origin period comes around, this question always get brought up, and that moment, it was just it just happened to be. I think just in that game, I was playing in and around the ball. I was like a lock, a hooker, but
like
just in defence. Just like a rover, and in defence, I was defending on the wing. So, and I've seen it in the regular game. So Noddy was sort of hinting to look that way, and I was thinking, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'll try and stick my hand out and go for it. So, and then the overtime period came and the golden point. So I was lucky enough to be on the park at that time, and so they went for it, and I stuck my hand out. I also said if that didn't happen, I would have looked silly or hit Matty Cooper on the chest, and he would have scored to win the winning try. But that moment, scoring that try at Suncorp, in front of our fans, and to win the game was something special, something I won't forget.
Yeah, such a ballsy move, like golden point, going for an intercept. Some people will call you crazy, but you pulled it off. It's absolutely spectacular.
And everyone said about Noddy that wrecked his career. I don't think so. I'm good mates with Noddy, and every time we get together, that moment gets brought up, and so he shakes his head. But no, but as I said, I always get brought up, and there's a moment I will cherish forever.
100%. Okay, let's go to 2007. You were the top try scorer in the whole of the NRL. What do you put this success down to?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, we had Billy Johnson as a trainer, and he was pretty, he was the ultimate Nazi. He was, always telling me what to eat, how to eat, what to eat. And I was sort of, my skin volume was pretty low, and I felt sort of quick. I was light. enjoying the game. I didn't have any injuries, and I just sort of enjoyed my footy at that time. And yeah, sort of was on the back end of a few good moves off Jono and the other boys, and yeah, scoring those tries is obviously it is icing on the cake. And but at the end of the day, you need to. I wanted to win a grand final, win a championship, but if that's individual accolades, it's not as good as obviously winning team one. So.
Yeah, well, you guys made the prelim that year. You were Cowboys Player of the Year, Dally M Fullback of the Year, and you were fourth in the Dally M to JT himself. If JT wasn't there, you'd probably get the Dally M, surely.
I know. We were just fighting against each other for the Dally M.
Stealing each other's points.
So mate, as I said, it is what it is, and sort of I would have been happy to win a grand final, but those accolades like that, winning the Dally M of Fullback of the Year and scoring those tries is something special, and always remember.
Yeah, they're hard to come by grand finals, but that's a good, excellent player nonetheless. But how did you handle the pressure in these high expectations of like club footy, rep footy? Did you have any techniques, or were you just a calm sort of player?
I just think obviously social media wasn't bad back then, but now I think I just tell kids like you treat the game like an exam. Like if you're studying for a maths exam at the end of the week, if you did all your homework, you did all your sums and did all your homework, you did it before it. And that's when you go to the exam, it's pretty easy. A bit like playing footy. If you did all your catching high balls 100 odd a week, you're doing your kicks, you're doing your sprinting, you're doing your fitness, eating well. Well, the game's is just the icing on the cake, and it's going into it. So that's what I sort of bring it down to. I just the high expectations, obviously, just knowing you did your job before it, and just going out and execute on the park on the weekends.
100%. Do you think the fullback roles changed since you've played, Matty?
I think so.
Or
I think
evolved?
I think more of them now are ball playing fullbacks. You get guys like Reece Walsh, and so Billy was there obviously doing that passing, and we sort of joined in and did all this passing. But now it's sort of extra half, and it's more. Yeah, so there's the different types of fullback. Obviously, you've got Latrell with that big body of his, and then just can join in and chime into the line and do what he does. And you got Reece Walsh on the other side who got that, the flashy moves and different stuff. So, yeah, I think so.
As a Queenslander, you guys have a difficult situation next year. Who do you think should be the Queensland fullback for 2024? Reece Walsh, Ponga. What are you thinking?
Obviously, Ponga did his job before that, and he was unlucky this year. And but Reece took his opportunity with both hands, and he proved to everyone that he's capable of the job. And I think no doubt he'll have that job for next year. So if that is going to find a room for Ponga somewhere, and
even Dally M, you don't think that Dally M will put a bit of pressure on Reece?
Yeah, I think to be honest, like I said, like Ponga had his opportunity there, and But if he starts well next year, and anything can happen at the start of the year.
I think form might come into it as well.
I think so. Yeah. So, but it'd be good headache for Billy, and no doubt they'll choose the right person for the job.
100%. Well, we'll move on, Matty. Super League. So you moved to the Wigan Warriors in 2014. Obviously, a significant change. How did this move sort of affect your career and sort of your life? Was there any teams in the NRL that were sort of knocking on the door, or?
Yeah, obviously getting told that you wasn't needed at the club in 13, and I was talking to Gold Coast Titans at the time.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna make the move down there, but things didn't work out. There was other reasons why I didn't go there, and I just at that time I was talking to Wigan Warriors, and Sean Wayne at the time, he was the coach, and mate, he was pretty adamant that he wanted me over there, and he kept in touch on a regular basis, and I was watching their games. So I was a huge Super League fan anyway. I was loved watching Super League. I'd get up and watch Super League, and so when I knew I was going to Wigan, I would get up and watch those games and see the boys that would be there for the year after I was going. And but mate, to be honest, I really enjoyed it. I wish I'd done it early in my career.
Yeah,
and I took my family over there. They really enjoyed it. So hopefully one day we'll get back over there.
You played alongside some good English players. You got Joe Burgess, George Williams, John Bateman, Sean O'Loughlin. Did you fit in straight away? And which players stood out to you?
I did, to be honest, mate. They were all young kids. Sean O'Loughlin, I obviously loved watching him play when I was, he's still here. I'm watching the Super League, and you got Liam Farrell, you had Mickey McIlaurin, guys like Matty Smith, Blake Green was there, and those young kids, like you just mentioned, I think Joey Burgess, Georgie Williams, Johnny Bateman, they were only young coming through, and you see what they did when they come over here to play in the NRL, like Ryan Sutton. So they were only 18, 19 when I went over, and they were really good kids. And the club was just great, mate. They welcomed me with both hands, and the boys did as well. So it was a pretty good 2 years, and we made the GF both years, but didn't win them. So
crazy,
can't win them.
Yeah, that was sort of my next question. Obviously, you guys made the GF 2 years in a row, and unfortunately losing both. Is there one that you reflect on more than the other, or
is there one that was closer? You thought you had it, or anything?
Mate, I think the both years we had the opportunity. I think if you remember, Benny Flower sort of punched Lance high in the second or third minute of the game, and he got sent off. So we were playing with 12 men for about 75 minutes, 76 minutes of the game, and sort of blew out towards the end. And I remember the Leeds one, mate, we were up. And
then they scored under the post with like 15 to go or something.
Scored under the post.
I think you scored under the post before that.
Yeah, so, GF, you have to be in them, for 80 minutes of the game. Yeah. You can't just be, within parts. So, so it was just what wasn't meant to be, mate.
Yeah, so obviously the level of Super League is still very high. What are the main difference between the NRL and the Super League?
Super League is, you speak to the boys or speak to the coach, that they hate watching NRL because NRL is like boring, they were saying. It's just because we're more physical here.
Oh, right.
And over there, they just love to throw the ball around from side to side.
Less structured.
So just play, off the cuff stuff, and they sort of love that. And that's, here it's more field position of the game, and more physical up the middle, and looking after the ball. Over there, they have no respect for the ball, and but it was good. It was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You have your top teams. You have your 4-6 teams that are good, and I was lucky enough to be part of the Wigan outfit. And you have St Helens just up the road, and Warrington, and you have Leeds. They're pretty good clubs as well. So
yeah. Well, post that, you obviously came back and laced up the boots one more time for the Cowboys and the Auckland Nines. How was that?
He sort of come back, and Greeny sort of asked me if he wanted to run around, and I was still sort of half fit, and really enjoyed it, mate. It was a good, obviously, opportunity for me to obviously put that jersey on for the last time, and got to train with the boys, and I went over to Auckland to run around. It was really good. As I said, I wish I would have had that carnival or that tournament when I was, imagine, 21, 22. So
you would have carved up.
Oh, you would have carved up for sure, yeah.
No, it was really good. It was nice suggestion from obviously Greeny, so had me in the team.
So, are you a Cowboys fan at the moment, or are you Broncos since you went from as a kid? Like, who do you barrack for?
I follow the Cowboys, but I love Roosters. I love the Roosters still.
Roosters.
I'll cancel the pod. That's it. See you, mate. Jesus, I'm a South fan.
But I love the Broncos, and I know Cowboys will always have a soft spot for me. So yeah.
Well, speaking on the Cowboys, what did you think of the 2023 season for the Cowboys?
Yeah, sort of, I don't know, sort of hit and miss. They had heaps of injuries, and at different times. Origin periods always hurts the Queensland teams, and I no doubt Cowboys had a huge part of player participation in those games. And I think they'd be better for it next year. And
they started so slow, and they sort of built some momentum, and then, as you said, Origin after that just went down again. So
very inconsistent.
The young players.
Yeah. Is any players stood out to you? Any young guys or any veterans that stood out to you over the 2023 season
that you love watching?
Scotty Drinkwater has been, it is the player that everyone wants to go and watch now. And used to be the hammer. Hammer went off to obviously Redcliffe, but Scotty Drinkwater played well this year, and hopefully he's injury free for next year. And but Ruben Cotter just keeps motoring along for a little guy.
Machine.
Plays for up front, plays at lock forward, and he just plays with full grit. So, everyone loves watching him play.
Do you see any similarities between yourself and Drinky?
Obviously, Drinky's a flashy player, no doubt. I think he just plays off the cuff, and I think if the Cowboys can not keep up with it, but keep encouraging that, not to tame it down and play structured footy. I think no doubt, Drinky would be one of those players that everyone will come along and want to watch.
100%. Outside of the Cowboys, are there any players in the NRL that you just love watching at the moment?
Obviously, Hammer. I'd have, I'll coach Hammer in the under-18s Blackhawks.
Yeah,
I still keep in contact with him, but I love watching him play.
I'm filthy that we let him go. Hey, the Cowboys let him go.
It's a tough decision. Obviously, trying to keep him. He's a Cairns junior and just up the road, and it was sad to see him go. But mate, I think he made the right move, and he's enjoying it down there in Brisbane, and playing some good footy, and obviously played Origin in the back of it, and played for Australia. So yeah.
It's a hard one still, like Drinky versus Hammer. It's still very close. You can't really say they made the wrong decision, but it's hard to say they made the right one too. It's a tough one.
So obviously Drinky he needed to play well, and he sort of kept Hammer away from that fullback spot.
Yeah.
And no doubt he did a wonderful job this year. So hopefully he can keep growing. And he's on the cuff of obviously making New South Wales team, and no doubt, fingers crossed, hopefully he can get that one step further next year.
100%. Well, footy aside now, Matty, what are you up to these days post-footy?
I work for civil safety and training, so I'm like an ambassador / BDO for these guys.
Yeah, nice.
They're like a local. So Rob Courage is our boss. He's the CEO, and sort of trying to get schools on board, mate. Going out to businesses and bringing people in to get their white cards and mining tickets or heavy machinery. So it's different. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I got signed up for it, because all I knew was Rugby League and the Cowboys. So, but mate, I'm enjoying it. He's a massive Cowboy supporter, so it makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good, mate. We got 11 officers across Queensland, from Gold Coast up to Weipa. So I'll get to visit those sites and see our employees and go out and say hello.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You're also a double ambassador. Do you love the punt? Do you love going to the races? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I obviously love having the punt. I don't hate the races. I don't drink, so I don't like to mingle. But I love to sit at home and have a bet.
Chuck on 5-2-6. Watch the dogs and trots run around.
Yeah. Oh, mate. I'll bet on anything. So it's been. I haven't had any luck this time around so lately, but hopefully, fingers crossed.
Give us a follow on Dabble. We'll help you. Even though we've been having this last leg curse. Every last leg has just failed.
Yeah.
It's actually killing
us.
All right, you'll have to send me some tips.
So maybe get on our first 3 legs and just leave the last one out. We got a little segment here, Matty. It's called Behind the Scenes. So we're just going to ask you a few questions. You're going to say a short answer, rapid fire, and just explain why you're picking that. So, Jimmy, you want to start us off?
Yeah. First one, Matty. Toughest opponent you ever faced?
Toughest opponent? Sonny Bill Williams.
Really? Why? Any moments come back to you?
Just obviously he's just a freak, and you hated when he's going to bust a line no matter what, or offload, and always had to be around the ball to make a tackle. So Sonny Bill Williams.
Yeah, 100%. What about your favourite coach?
Favourite coach? Sean Wayne, Wigan Warriors.
Ooh, interesting.
Nice. Because he's a current England coach, is he?
He's the current England coach. Yeah, obviously Wayne Bennett was an ultimate coach, but but the club coach, Sean Wayne.
Yeah, nice.
What did you like about him,
mate? He was just he's just there for the boys. A bit like reminds me of Wayne Bennett. He just once you cross the field to train, he's your coach. He'll just tell you how it is. And once training's done, he's just like one of the boys. He'll come to coffees. He'll make you feel welcome and just sort of, and makes you want to play for him. And coaches like that is just really really there for the boys, and just makes you want to play for them. And mate, he was one of the best I have played under.
Awesome. Next one, best player you played against.
Best player I played against.
Yeah.
I hated tackling Manu Vatuvai.
Yes, big Manu.
Big and fast,
big Manu,
strong.
Yeah, big, fast, strong. So he would be the best, obviously, player that didn't want to tackle.
like the hardest to tackle, but what about like actually best player?
Yeah.
Best player.
Obviously, did you ever verse JT? You wouldn't have versed him, eh? No.
Nah, I played him in the 04, but probably Andrew Johns or Darren Lockyer because we got, fifth and last. They was going to put those torpies up, so probably Joey Johns. He's going to kick no matter what. He's going to kick, and if you drop the ball, he'll tell you about it too. So
yeah, just on those torpies, do you reckon you could catch a Matt Burton bomb?
Oh, if I had 12 other guys surrounding me to give me some escort. Yeah.
You weren't that bad under the high ball.
No. Yeah, I was pretty good. I just, you knew when you're playing Joey or playing Darren Lockyer that they was going to test you no matter what. So,
what about most annoying teammate?
Who was just a pest? Travis Burns.
Travis Burns. He was just a little annoying. Whatever he did, it was annoying.
All right. Which player would make the best Prime Minister? Do you reckon?
Best Prime Minister.
Current or past player? Anyone?
Current. Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I think
like Cherry Evans, like Murray. Who do you reckon?
Brent Tate.
Brent Tate.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see Tatey.
Prime Minister Tate.
Yeah, Tatey's he could talk his way out of anything, so Tatey.
There you go. See your elbow. Tate's coming in. We got a quiz for you, Matty. It's called the Matty Bowen quiz. Have you done your research? You been studying?
No, I haven't. So.
Oh, well, you just told us before you should be studying before the big dance or the quiz. But here we go. Let's start us off with which fullback did you play the most games against?
Billy.
No. Do you want to have another guess?
Fullback I played the most games against?
Yeah. He's a New South Welshman as well.
Minnie?
No, he was third. It was actually Brett Hodgson, 15. I think you versed the Tigers. Yeah. I think you versed the Tigers 22 times. So there you go. Yeah, I didn't say this was going to be easy. What about this one? Which team did you score the most tries against?
Bronx?
Yeah. Yes. Bonus point if you know how many. I think you only played like 22, 23 games.
10?
13 tries. You love playing.
You love playing the Bronx.
Yeah, you just fired up every time.
Yeah, it was always because you knew those boys, as I said before. You knew those fellas, and you always wanted, hated losing against them.
Yeah, 100%. What about this one? Which team did you lose the most games against?
Roosters.
No, it was the Broncos again. 15 games.
15?
Yeah. So you scored the most tries, but you lost the most games against the Bronx. Okay, what about this one, Matty? What was the only bench number you did not wear playing for Queensland? So from 14 to 17.
15.
Yeah, nailed it.
He's good.
We thought you'd get that one, yeah. So obviously 17 you played a handful of games and the other two you've also ticked off.
Yeah.
Last question. This is multiple choice. What is your goal kicking percentage? Is it 64%, 67, 69, 71?
What's the 69?
That's a cheeky answer, but no, it's 67, Matty.
Is it?
Yeah, 67. So not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, not the worst goal
And you
kicker.
also kicked a few field goals in your time as well. Do you remember any of them?
Yeah, I got a boot, and when you retire, you give a boot, and they got all your stats on there.
Yeah.
You don't realise how many, field goals you kicked.
I think you had 5 field goals as well.
Yeah, so.
Did you get your goal kicking tips from JT or?
I always was a goal kicker. Yeah, growing up, you always want to, go goal kicker, but you get little tips along the way from different players, and obviously Jono's kicking and after training different stuff. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, you failed the quiz, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We've got an easy one for you. This is another segment we like to do.
Yeah, so we ask all our guests, Matty, your go-to Macca's order. Have you got one?
Yes.
What is it?
Big Mac meal, without a doubt.
Big Mac meal. Yeah. Any sides? You get like nuggets or thick shakes or anything?
No, I normally used to get this thick shake, but I just love the Macca's Coke. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with a Big Mac meal and a Coke.
Yeah.
So safe. Well, Matty, thank you very much for coming on the Cast Patrol podcast. Been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Been a great guest, but appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and I no doubt I'll follow you guys on the thing. I need some tips.
Follow us on Dabble. Yeah. Back cast, never last. See you guys.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.